Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. Madden 16 Green Bay Packers franchise. This is Packer Talk. This is episode number 10, and we're going to take a look here at the off-season review and look at a preseason outlook here on the Green Bay Packers franchise. So, off-season is officially done. We are getting ready here now for the upcoming season. Season number 2 for the Green Bay Packers. As you see there, we just got done with the, of course, the NFL draft. And these are some of the draft picks that we've gotten. There you see Sterling Irvin, our number 1 pick there, 32nd pick there overall. And there you see the contract he will have. He will have a 4-year contract of a total of about, $3.4 million. Now, he's going to be playing either the inside or the outside. I believe he's going to be the right side linebacker. So he'll be on the right side of the defense there for us. And he actually has some pretty good potential here. I've been using him in the preseason games, and he is a kid that I'm so glad that we picked up here first round. I was really kind of iffy about certain guys in the first round. Because the first round, of course, we was looking for something in the cornerback position, but a lot of the corners that I wanted were already gone. Take a look at our second round pick. There you see Eric Jackson from Auburn, 6 foot, 232 pounds there. He also has a 4-year contract there, $2.4 million. There you see Max Keller. Now, this is the third round pick. Now, this was the pick that I was wanting to really focusing on more of the defensive side, but we went ahead and we've seen several offensive guys on the board, and there you see offensive linemen, and that's something I guess we could start working on now. It was something more to say I was going to work on next season. After this second season was over with, start working on the offensive line there. But we went ahead and got him. Percy Gray. Now, Percy Gray is one of the guys that I really didn't talk too much about. I did scout him and was kind of wondering what we would need to do for a tight end. And so I went ahead and drafted him. I had his numbers and everything, but he was going to be kind of a later pick there, later on the draft. But he was still on the board. They had him as a late 4th round pick, or excuse me, early 5th round pick. We went ahead and took him in the late 4th round. Rashad Chapman, 6'6", 332 pound left tackle there. We're going to see what he can do here with the left tackle position. We'll probably end up turning him to possibly maybe a guard sometime. But for right now, he's going to play that left side. And that's one thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for guys that we can move around for different offensive schemes, and also defensively with the defensive players like Irvin and stuff like that. We can try to move them around if they play different, if they have a better higher rating when it comes to position wise on either the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. There you see Aaron Bowles, the next pick that we got, left end there. 6'5", 291 pounds from Northern Illinois. Great pick there. I thought he looked pretty good here with the position where he was at on the board. And then, of course, there you see the breakdown there. Only getting $2 million for a 4-year contract there. Of course, getting the standard contracts right there for the upcoming for the rookies here. This here now has been a couple years now since the CBA was renewed and whatnot. So overall, I think we got some pretty good picks here. We got some pretty good grades overall. Spin doctors and stuff like that in the NFL here. The talking heads gave us a pretty good draft grade for the draft as a whole for all of us. For the Green Bay Packers, and I'm pretty happy with, like I said, with our draft picks. Coming up now, we're going to take a look here at the preseason, and I'm not going to really show you guys the preseason games. Of course, you guys can see the preseason games. They're up on the channel now. They've been up on the channel now for several weeks now. or at least for the last 2 weeks now. You guys can check those out and see what those are all about. There you see the Jets at Raiders at Jets at Cardinals, and then the Lions, of course, there. And that's what we'll have to play against first week here coming up. So I'll actually show you guys, I think here in a bit, we'll show you guys some of the scores from those preseason games. I'll talk a little bit about that. But take a look here at the regular season. There you see, like I said, kick off with the Lions, a Thursday night game, the first game of the new season. Giants at Colts at Titans, and then we got a bye week, week 5. Bears at Seattle, at Redskins, at Vikings. So that's gonna be a really interesting 7, 8, 9. Those 3 weeks right there. Texans at Bears, Vikings at Lions, at Cowboys, Eagles, and Saints, and then finally we finish off with the Jags at home. We got 3 home games there rounding out this season. Now this division is actually going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty interesting because the Lions have Matt Forte, and you'll see here with Forte's numbers, stuff like that. He is actually a pretty good player for the Lions. I think they made a pretty good pick. Now we try to go after him, even though we didn't really have much room in our cap to go for him. But we tried, and of course we did fail. But we tried our best, and it's not surprising that he'll stay within the division to really stick it maybe to the Bears there with the Lions team, and try to make see what he can do with that team, make them improve for them this upcoming season. So we'll take a look at week 1. Week 1, there's the matchup there. So hopefully your favorite team is going to have a good game here in the first week of the season. You see quite a few good matchups there. You got some good divisional rivalries there starting up. And then we got some teams that haven't played each other for a long time there. So it's going to be a really interesting week. But like I said, we kick off Thursday night. It will be the Lions at the Packers in week 1. And that's going to be definitely, like I said, it's going to be a very good game, as both teams are going to be pretty evenly matched up. And I've already actually played the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, so you guys will see that video here soon enough here. And it's actually a pretty fun game to play, but we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that at another time here. But we'll take a look at some of the preseason numbers there. And there you see our first game against the Raiders there. You see a final score of 38-10. We win this one. And there you see our numbers there when it comes to the box score there. And pretty much, the Raiders, just, penalty yards there. You see both. We had pretty even penalties there. But we had given them, of course, 3 more yards than we really wanted to. Possession right there. That's going to be really key this coming season, as we still have issues with our corners that we're going to have to really work on and try to get the defense off the field as quickly as possible and keep the offense on the field as much as possible. But there you see Aaron Rodgers there. He, of course, didn't play too much there. Got 1 touchdown for 93, or he got that 1 touchdown, 93 or 98 yards there for the game. His backup, of course, had 2 touchdowns, 235 yards, and he is looking really good here. Chase Daniel, of course, Derek Carr, Daniels now with Oakland, and there you see some of the numbers there from the backups there for the Raiders. Now take a look at the rushing there. Of course, rushing there you see John Kuhn, 4 carries for 13 yards and a touchdown for him. And then you see here with the receiving core, James Starks had Starks had a pretty good preseason this here, and of course he is being talked about in the locker room here as possibly the go ahead and being the first 2 week starter because of Lacey. We're worried about Lacey. See if Lacey can get out of the backfield and play up to that caliber here, because I think Lacey, this is his contract year. So depending on how well he plays, chances are, for the most part, there's a good chance that he will not come back. We'll go ahead and release him. If not, trade him if things start going south for us early here in this season. Try to get try to get the value that he is worth right now and ship him off somewhere else, and using mainly I'm thinking maybe for a draft pick, so we can find a team out there that needs a halfback and it's in desperate need of a halfback or something like that in the first couple of weeks of the season. Then we'll move him and try to see what kind of how many draft picks we can get out of him, because he is a former first round draft pick, and I think maybe a change of scenery may do best for him. But for right now, we're going to keep him on the field, and he'll be, for right now, our everyday down guy. But like I said, we're going to use halfbacks a lot more often here. We're going to use him and Starks quite a bit, along with Kuhn, who will really do a good job there, getting those short yardage there. The 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, short yardage and 3rd down guy. Then you take a look here at the Jets score here. 45-14 was the final score in that game there, and that was just pretty much a blowout from the very get-go. There you see the quarterback there, 15-19, 4 touchdowns, 173 yards for Scott there. He had a great game and just blew Bryce Petty out of the water. Bryce Petty, 8 of 18, 100 yards there, no touchdowns for him. Geno Smith, of course, didn't play very long and didn't do so well there in his run. Monty Ball, you see 11 carries for 26 yards, 1 touchdown there for him. And Kuhn, of course, got a touchdown there for himself there with 4 carries, 16 yards there in the game. Take a look here at the receiving, and again, pretty just average numbers there for some of the guys that really you don't see too often. Of course, now we'll have Jordy Nelson back here during this season. Hopefully, we can keep him healthy and going. Not to mention, he is going to be our number 1 guy for right now. But with the way, with the way how Cobb has been playing and just being clutch, Cobb could one guy could be receiver number 1A, and another one receiver number 1B. So it's true competition. That's what I want to see here. We'll see which guys are the better guy here in these next couple of games here. Of course, every game we're here to see how the rookies are going to show out here. Right, of course, we don't have to worry about too many things because we don't have too many people to release, because we do have a full roster, because we went ahead and released a couple players there before even the preseason started there. So let's go ahead and go to the third game here, and you got the Cardinals there. Final score 45-10 was the score in that game, as the Packers again just dominate here, and that's something I'm kind of looking forward to. At the same time, it's also it could get out of hand very quickly. And that being said, that means we may have to take out some starters there, just to kind of rest them up, especially with Rodgers. Don't want to get him, banged up and hurt, and getting hit unnecessarily when it's not, he don't need it. If we're beating him by 4 or 5 possessions, there's no need to have him out there, out there still throwing the ball around. So the backup there will probably see a lot more playing time, especially when we go in the second half and late in the third quarter or something like that. If we're up quite a bit with possessions wise, then that'll be a good chance that we'll end up bring up the second string quarterback there, and also maybe even moving the receivers around some, maybe taking out Nelson and Cobb, and bringing in Montgomery, maybe even putting Gray out there as a receiver, even though he plays with tight end, play him as a receiver. Also, we're thinking about even going out there and picking up a receiver here. I've been looking at the free agency, and there's been some pretty decent names out there They wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't be a major impact. They would probably be either play as a either a third or fourth receiver there, kind of that position there. Probably more or less the fourth position, fourth receiver there, just to help us out and get those yardage there that we need when I want to take out either Cobb or Nelson out of the game. There you see the rookie there. If you've seen it, Irvin, 2 tackles for a loss there. That was a pretty good job, good game there he had. And just like I said, overall, just the kid's been on fire, and I'm really happy to see that for him coming up. And it should be a really good season for him and for that defense. Again, still question marks on the corners there, as we're going to start, draft-wise, we're still looking at the defense, but more so, we're going to start working on maybe getting some up-and-coming receivers for the upcoming, for the future here. 42-17 was the final score in the 4th game of the preseason here against the Lions. There you see the numbers there for Colt McCoy. Aaron Rodgers played a little bit longer there in that game, and had a touchdown there. Matthew Stafford was just awesome, 4 for 4, 49 yards there, completed 100% of passes and 1 touchdown. He had a great game there, but when it came down to it, for the most part, the Lions, this was actually a pretty close game. I mean, yes, it is a blowout, but for the first inning, or for the first 2 quarters there, it was a very close game, and then the 3rd quarter just kind of unloaded, and the defense was just getting really sloppy there. And I promise you, if I remember correctly, it's not like that here in the very first game of the first week. Actually, it's pretty defense is pretty tight, and you'll see that here in the first in the next episode in the franchise here, with the Green Bay Packers and the Lions in game 1 or week 1 there at Lambeau Field. But there you see some of the numbers there. Richard Rodgers there, of course, always having a great year, and that's going to be something that him and Gray, I think I found a way where I can utilize them both. Of course, being both, we do have some double tight end sets there, but I found a way where I can switch them around certain play and formations, stuff like that. So certain formations, he's Gray could be the guy to go to, and then of course always Richard Rodgers is our go-to guy here when it comes to that position there, and that skills position, as he's just been just clutch in a lot of games there, just like in real life. Even more so here in this game than in real life. I don't know how many times he's helped me get out of a jam. But there you see our rookie there, Aaron Bauer there. You see his numbers there. And, of course, just like I said, we got some guys there that are just going to be, overall, just going to be some really talented players. So there you see the standings here after at least the first 3 games there. You guys take a look there. See how your team did in from weeks 1 to 3 here in the preseason. And there you see Ravens 1 and 2. Steelers and Browns 2-1, and of course Bengals 3-0. Texans 2-1. Colts Titans 1 and 2, and then of course the Jags 0-3. Jets 2-1, or both Jets and Bills 2-1, and both Dolphins and Patriots 1 and 2 there. So that's early signs there. Probably made a shift there in that division. There you see, of course, like I said, just these are preseason games. Not much really matters to a lot of teams here. A lot of teams are just trying to, most teams are just trying to figure out what they'll need here when it comes to personnel, and just see what these rookies can do here, and see if we can, if they're going to be released or whatnot. And I am going to check the waiver wire afterwards to see who got released, and if they are, decent enough, we may end up picking them up as a on the team as a guy that we can use here to see utilize his talent for certain situations on defense and on offense, if we can find guys that we think that will fit for us. So there you see, in week 1 it will be the Lions here coming to Lambeau Field. It's a 8:30 game. It's a prime time game. That means everybody in the nation will be watching us. And like I said, it's going to be a great game here as they take on the Lions there at home. So we'll see what we can do here in the new season, as season number 2 gets us kicked off here, as we will kick off the NFL here with a Thursday night prime time game. It should be a good one. And I can't wait for you guys to check it out. It's actually a pretty good one. And like I said, I've already played the first 3 weeks, and you guys should have the first week of the season 2 here coming up here very soon. But that's it for me, you guys. As always, thank you for watching us here on the channel. So keep subscribing or keep liking our videos if you guys enjoy the video. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and check out other great series here on ESGNet. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Links down below in the description. Get the latest news and information on what's going on with the channel and what's going on in the world of sports gaming. But that is it for me, guys. I can't wait to start this new season here. I think this team got a lot of potential, and I think we can take them. We can go possibly maybe even go undefeated once again. It'd be nice, but we'll just see how this season goes. So regular season will begin here coming up week 1. And we'll see how we'll fare against the Lions here coming up here in this new season. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.